All right. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's special episode where I'm going to pitch DIVA protocol in public. So my goal today is to introduce to you our revolutionary project that aims to transform the way derivatives are created and settled using blockchain technology, and at the same time invite interested parties to join us on the next phase of our journey, which is all about expanding the application layer once DIVA protocol is released on mainnet, which we expect to happen in April. So thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to your questions after the presentation. Let's get started. All right. So what is DIVA protocol? So DIVA protocol is the first truly universal and flexible smart contract-based operating system that allows its users to create and settle derivative products peer-to-peer, which means without involving a central intermediary like a bank. So example products that users can create using DIVA protocol include insurance, structured products, conditional donations, prediction markets, swaps, and any other product where the payoff is derived based on the outcome of an external event. So what problem are we solving with DIVA protocol? So the problem right now in traditional finance is that the creation and the managing of derivative products relies on central intermediaries like banks. And this comes with three main disadvantages. So first is counterparty risk. So users or clients deposit their funds with the bank and they might lose them if the bank or the intermediary defaults or becomes insolvent. Second, the creation of derivatives is typically reserved for banks and not easily accessible for the general public, which hampers innovation. And third, these derivative products are typically issued and tradable within the bank's isolated infrastructure. So for instance, if you buy a structured product and you want to sell it, you can typically only do it with the bank that issued that product, and you cannot go to another bank that might offer you a better price, right? So you kind of like limit your liquidity by having these isolated systems. So what's the solution? The solution that DIVA protocol offers is a smart contract based layer that encodes the logic that is underlying all derivative products, and with that eliminates the need for an intermediary like a bank. So three main benefits that come with that approach. So first one is it's secure. So the derivative contracts are fully collateralized, which means the client has certainty that he will receive back the payout, and the intermediary cannot basically default, right? Then it's open, so it's once deployed on Ethereum, which is an open network, everyone can access it, everyone can use it and create derivative products, which we hope will foster innovation in the same way that Uniswap fostered innovation when they released their open kind of like way to create markets for literally anything. And the third point that DIVA protocol solves is the interoperability. So by standardizing the way how the derivatives are represented on the blockchain, you allow the tradability of these products on decentralized exchanges, centralized exchanges. So basically on the open network, which improves the liquidity and gives users or clients that want to buy or sell these products better prices. So just to give you an idea what market we are targeting, I prepared this slide, which shows the size of the global derivatives market in relation to other markets. And as you can see, the derivatives markets is by far the largest compared to all the other markets. So 500 times larger than the crypto market and 50 times larger than the gold market. So there's a huge opportunity in that space, which is not yet kind of like, uh, uncovered in crypto. So, and our goal with DIVA protocol is to capture 1 billion of that market, so 1 billion notional every year, which is like a tiny percentage. It's like 0.0002% of that market, which basically means 1 out of 500,000 derivatives should be created via DIVA protocol. So that's our goal, and we believe that this is a realistic goal to go after. So what are the features that we would like to highlight? So first, it's high customization. So users can choose any event. So it can be the price of Bitcoin, it can be a weather-related index, literally anything that has a public data feed and is verifiable. Users can choose from a wide range of payoff profiles, so binary, linear, a combination of both. Users can choose any oracle, which meets their corresponding setup. So users can choose a trusted third party to be the oracle, to basically report the outcome, and with that determine the payout of these derivative products. Or it can be any decentralized oracle solution like Teller, Chainlink, Yuma protocol, and all the others that exist out there. Another feature is that DIVA protocol has a built-in compliance layer. So users that create derivative products have the possibility to restrict the transfer of these assets, and with that allow traditional financial institutions to comply with existing KYC and AML regulations. And basically how this is achieved is, if say a client passes the KYC with a bank, the bank would issue a non-transferable NFT to their account, basically flagging it as KYC passed. And when they create these products, they could indicate that only holders or owners of that particular NFT are allowed to trade between each other, right? And yeah, the other two I already mentioned. So positions are fully collateralized, so which eliminates the counterparty risk. You don't have any margin calls, and it gives users a safe and frictionless experience. And you have the interoperability aspect, which allows you to trade these derivative assets in any centralized and decentralized infrastructure. So for those of you who are a little bit more technical, a brief overview how it works on a technical level. So the mechanism is pretty much inspired by 0x protocol, which is established decentralized limit order protocol. So you would basically, the user, which is referred to as the maker, would specify the terms of the derivative product, so including what is the underlying event, the payoff profile, who will report the outcome, how much does every party contribute. Then in the next step, they would sign the offer with the private key, which is a off-chain process, and share this signed offer with counterparties via any off-chain communication channel, so via email, chat, or social media. And only if a counterparty agrees to these terms, only then the derivative contract is created on-chain, and these tokenized contingent claims are sent to the two parties that are involved in the derivative contract. And at the end, when the product expires, so all products created on DIVA protocol have an expiry date, the outcome is reported by the oracle, and with that, the payouts for the two sides of the derivative contract are determined by DIVA protocol, and each side can claim their corresponding share in the collateral that was initially deposited. So how is DIVA different than other existing protocols? So I think the first thing is that I want to highlight is the high customization, which I already mentioned before, but I think we are the first one, the first derivatives protocol that offers full customization in terms of both underlying and payoff profile. So for those of you who know Polymarket or Augur, these traditional or more established prediction markets, they allow you to have any underlying, but the payoff profile is typically binary. So you either win everything or you lose everything, right? So, and then there's a second group of protocols that we also count as our competition, which we refer to as option protocols. Opine protocol is, for instance, one of them, which basically only allows you to issue traditional type of call or put options with like a fixed linear payout, and the underlyings are also limited to assets that are native to the blockchain. So you couldn't use a weather index, for instance, as your underlying. Then the second reason why we are different is that we have a different approach. So as opposed to platforms like Polymarket, right, which have built their own smart contract and built their own front end on top, we built a smart contract and we want a lot of people to build on top and not just us, right? So we really want to make this a public good, open and accessible for everyone to realize their ideas. And the platform, so DIVA protocol charges a small fee on redemptions. So DIVA protocol will benefit the more people start building applications on top of that. And third but not least, given the compliance feature that we built in, we are well suited for traditional financial institutions that have to comply with KYC AML regulations. So the next phase, as I mentioned at the beginning, will be about expanding the application layer. So when DIVA protocol is deployed, which will happen after the audit, which we start very soon, then it's all about building applications. And while developing DIVA protocol, we started building 4 applications ourselves. So I shared the link to this pitch deck, so you can also click on the play button and get an intro there. But I can also briefly show you the 4 applications that we started building. So the first one is DIVA app. It's basically a one-stop solution that allows you to create, trade, and settle derivative products. And under the hood, it's combining 3 protocols. So it's DIVA protocol for the creation and settlement part, 0x protocol for the trading part, and Tela protocol for the Oracle part. So I can just give you like a quick insight how this looks like. You can also access it via app.diva.finance. It's currently running on testnet. You can play around, you can claim assets, testnet assets in our Discord and see how this works. So this is how the create form would look like. So you define the event, you define the payout, which is highly customizable. You define the terms, so which party is contributing how much, right? And then once it's filled, you can also trade these assets also here on the same app, right? So you see the payout here, you see the order book, you can create new orders, you can fill existing orders like you would do on Binance, for instance. And once the product expired and the outcome has been reported, you can also come here and claim the payout. So it's a one-stop solution basically for derivatives. Then another platform that we have designed that we just started implementation is what we refer to as Super DeFi. It's a structured yield product platform to offer users superior yield products. And to give you a little bit of an idea how this will look like, so this is kind of like the design. And the idea here is that the operator of this application would basically create a set of products that he believes are in demand or are interesting for clients in the current market. And then he would list it here, which clients could buy. So here's, for instance, a product fact sheet. You see the payoff profile is quite exotic, not just binary or linear, but a combination of both, which is, by the way, a typical payoff profile in traditional finance and structured products. And once the product expires, the users can simply redeem their payout. So very simple app, does not include any functionality to create the products themselves, and focused on products that are more conservative, right, but offer you a higher yield versus a simple buy and hold strategy. And then the third app is an event-driven conditional donations platform, which I can also show you here briefly. So one sec, it's loading. Yeah, so the idea here is that the operator of this platform would create campaigns where donations are triggered based on a predefined external event. Say if a metric that measures drought falls below a certain threshold. So there's actually one concrete pilot campaign that we're currently working with Fortune Connect and Shamba Network in Kenya to hand out conditional donations to 100 farmers in Kenya worth total 15K to assist them basically if there is drought. So to give you some insights here, this is also just a design but already in implementation. And just to give you an idea how this will look like, you also see this, we prepared this design already for more campaigns that we're going to launch at some point. The user can donate here in cryptocurrency and read more about the campaign. And here you also see like how the donation, or under which circumstances the donation will trigger, plus additional information that the campaign owner may want to share. And last but not least, we have another app which we refer to DIVA with, which is basically an app to visualize your derivative product offer. So basically, when you create a product here, what you get in the end is a link that you can share with counterparties via email, for instance, right? And they get redirected to that page. Now, maybe just sharing a link might not be that appealing, so you might want to include a nice illustration, and this is exactly what DivaViz is about. So you can simply take the unique ID, this offer hash of your product offer, create such a beautiful card. You can download it. If you want, you can also share it on Twitter, right, including the illustration, and yeah, for everyone to feel across the world. So that's the fourth one that I would like to show. And yeah, our goal is to create an app store where we will list all the applications that are built on top of DIVA protocol. So in terms of traction, there are four things that I would like to mention. So first, on the user side, so we had a very successful testnet, incentivized testnet back in Q3 with more than 26,000 accounts participating, and a second round is also planned prior to launch. Then we have the conditional donations pilot program that I briefly mentioned, where we will hand over a total of $15,000 to 100 farmers in Kenya to assist them in adverse moments like drought. Then another project that is early stage, but we already started discussions and will continue to have these discussions, is a structured products pilot program, like a proof of concept, which is planned for Q2 with a Swiss private bank. So I won't mention any names here, but we will announce as soon as there are more details. And I also want to highlight the Oracle integrations that we're currently working on. So we started with integrating the Tela Oracle protocol, which is now more or less completed. And there are more oracles that are lined up that expressed interest to be integrated. So one is Chainlink, Yuma protocol, but also other on-chain kind of like protocols where we could use their data, their on-chain data, to settle pools. So for instance, Arbor is an under collateralized lending protocol, and we could use the amount repaid, which is stored on-chain, to create credit default protection products, right? Or IPOR is a project that kind of like aggregates the yields on stable coins and creates like an on-chain index. And yeah, we are also kind of like in very early discussions how we could work together to enable unique products on top of that using DIVA protocol. And then last but not least, I want to highlight our team. So the two co-founders, Sasha and I, we both have a background in financial mathematics and combine more than 15 years of experience in traditional finance, so including derivatives trading, portfolio and risk management. And we are also very experienced in smart contract programming. And yeah, I think a very unique skill set in order to pull off a project like DIVA protocol, which basically requires knowledge in both areas. We started, the two of us, so our expertise is in smart contract programming, and we grew over time to 15 contributors, which includes front-end developers, back-end developers, designers, smart contract engineers, all passionate and driven and working towards our goal to transform the derivatives industry. So yeah, we hope you liked this presentation, and if you're interested, join us on this journey to revolutionize the derivatives industry by reaching out via one of the channels that we mentioned here at the bottom. Thank you very much for your attention, and I'd like to open up for questions, which you can put here in the chat. Thank you very much that you liked the presentation. Super DeFi looks cool. Will we perform testnet with Super DeFi? Probably at some point, but now it's just too early, so we just started implementation. So when we get there, we try to combine it with an opportunity for you guys to test it out and in return for rewards. Great, thanks a lot for the positive feedback. Really great to
Hi,
hear.
Vlad. Nice presentation. I think we'll have some questions at the top. So you just scroll down.
Okay. You let me.
One from Sahul. Yeah, Sahul. Yeah, scroll down a bit.
Sorry about Sahul, you said. Sahul, okay. Tell us about compliance with government regulations. So, DIVA protocol is basically just a piece of infrastructure, right? So the compliance with existing regulations lies with the operator of the platforms that are built on top of it. So that's, I think, important to mention. Yeah. exactly.
So we have the next question from Thunder.
Here, from whom? Sorry.
Thunderstrike. The next one,
Yeah,
like the
is
one.
manipulation of data from Oracle side possible, or is it completely secure? Yeah, as I said, DIVA protocol in itself is Oracle agnostic, which means you can integrate any Oracle. So you could also use a centralized Oracle, which is subject to failure, right? I don't know if it's a bot that is running on a server and the server goes down, they might not report. To account for that, we built in like a fallback layer into the DIVA protocol. So if the assigned data provider doesn't submit or doesn't report the outcome, there is a layer where a fallback data provider will step in and do that. But yeah, I mean, that's also like one of our goals is to give users reliable or kind of like secure choices. So one of them is Tela protocol, right? So if you use Tela protocol, it's a fully decentralized, permissionless Oracle protocol where everyone can report. So the chances are super high that you get the right outcome reported. They also have a dispute mechanism built in that incentivizes users or reporters to stay honest. So we will definitely recommend to use one of these things, but if, say, two banks trust a third party, like an audit firm, for instance, right, they could also go with that and taking the basically accepting the risks that come with that approach. Building our own custom derivative app, possible using DIVA protocol. Yes, definitely. I mean, the four apps that you have seen, this is something we came up with, right? To give users just a wide range, some inspiration, what can be built on top. But like the possibilities are endless. So you could build a platform that offers insurance against DeFi hacks. You could build a platform to allow where people could trade derivatives on tokens that do not yet exist. So for instance, you could create derivatives on the OpenSea token price, say in 3 years, right? Which could kind of like, yeah, could be a very interesting use case. And yeah, you're free to build and design whatever app you want. If you want to work with us, reach out and we'll be able to help and support you and provide review. DIVA protocol will be the best project. Yeah, let's hope so. With Super DeFi, is it just the creator of the pool that gets the total yield, or can others add to the liquidity of the pool? Yeah, so basically the creator is basically one side of the derivative contract. So if, say, it could be a market maker that is operating this platform, so they would take one side and offer the other side of the contract, of the derivative contract to users, which would then earn that yield. So the yield that you have seen, you would receive if you buy that product. I mean, obviously under certain conditions, right? You could also receive zero. So that's kind of like the nature of derivative products. I have two photographs of all. That's great. Share it on Twitter. Are you guys planning on another fundraising? So yeah, we actually have an ongoing fundraising round right now, with the goal to raise funds in order to fund the development of the application layer that I mentioned. So yes, we're raising. We are inviting VCs to participate, and we will also consider options to give access to the public if possible. Mainnet is guaranteed for Q1. Yeah, in software development, it's a little bit hard to give guarantees, but I mean, we're targeting starting audit in end of February, and it will take at least a month. So probably most realistic is April when everything goes live. Who will be the creator of derivative products on Super DeFi? Yeah, that's a good question. So one candidate could be a market maker, right? Maybe you've heard of ribbon finance, where they're basically selling option wall strategies. So in a very similar fashion, you could set up super DeFi. We have market makers kind of like taking the other side and then hedging themselves when users buy in. So yeah, do you believe, sir, at February we could have the launch of DIVA? Thanks in advance, and if it will be a listing to some centralized exchanges. Yeah, as I said, I think let's assume it will be April and February. We were still wrapping up the contract, so there were some last minute changes that we had to implement, which took a little bit longer. Is anyone invested yet or not? Yeah, so we had the first round. We raised a first round beginning of last year, um, which helped us a lot to kind of like attract developers and kind of like get to the stage we are right now. Yeah, so we are now raising the second round. At what point are we with regards to auditing of the DIVA smart contracts? Yeah, I mean, we're already in discussions. We have already selected our preferred audit firm, and yeah, we'll report back when we submit the contracts for audit. Okay, how's the process of fundraising going? Positive signs yet? Yeah, I mean, we started fundraising in December, early December last year, and December was expectedly very slow. Discussions have picked up in January, and we're in active discussions with a few VCs. And yeah, I mean, as soon as we have confirmation, we will share news with you. Phase 2 related, any updates? Not sure what you mean. Phase 2 probably incentivized testnet. Yeah, we're still planning that, but let's give us time to prepare everything for that. And back to Super DeFi, is it possible for normal users to create a product on Super DeFi, or is that only possible on DIVA Finance? Yeah, so right now it's only possible on DIVA Finance and not on Super DeFi, but I mean, you can also build your own version of the Super DeFi app, right? It's just one version which we think makes sense, but you could also allow users to create these type of things, or you could, I don't know, build in a voting mechanism where users could vote which product should be created and will be listed or published or presented to users the week after, right? So you can really kind of like build all kinds of things around. Any public pre-sale for DIVA members? If so, what is the minimum criteria to join? Not yet decided. We're exploring all different avenues, but yeah, not yet decided regarding public pre-sale. DIVA protocol not shown on Crunchbase. Not sure what you mean. I know that website, but why should we show up? Maybe if we raise an official round, then we will show up there. All right, I allow for 2 more questions. People are typing. Okay, what's that? Great presentation. Ah, love it. Thank you so much. You can put the recording in the comments afterwards. What benefits can we expect from the POAPs? Well, I think, well, the main benefit is they just look great, I guess. And the second benefit is that we can attach any benefit to that at a later stage, given that these are, yeah, tokens on a network. So stay tuned. I really love what DIVA protocol is building. Keep up the good work, guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. All right. I think with that, I conclude that presentation. So again, thanks a lot for joining the call and yeah, being interested in what we're building. Stay tuned, everyone. Bye bye.